Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday morning. Depending on where you are, it's about 5:45 a.m. right now. So that is what I'm doing with my morning. I've been up for about 3 hours, going over some analytics on some old funnels I ran back in the beginning, like when I just got started. And I came across one that was pretty cool, where I got, read the description of the YouTube thing here, but basically where I got 65 leads at $1.15 per lead. Total like $75 spent, and that market is like 600,000 to $1 million, $2 million homes. So that's pretty good. Those usually cost a lot more than what we see here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go into a screen share and show you guys what I did, just the front end for the opt-in, because that's the only thing I have data on right now for this. I didn't really have a follow-up sequence at this time. I just kind of had the lead generation thing down. So I'm going to just show the ad and the analytics. So let me just hop into a screen share here, and I'm sharing my screen. All right, so I should be presenting to everyone, and if I'm not, there's no way to tell because this is not a live event, so we'll find out. Okay, so I'm over here on my screen, if you guys can see this. This is the campaign, again, West LA Homes. Anybody in California or who's watched too much of, bad TV knows that West LA, Beverly Hills is where a lot of the money's at in California. As such, what we know about these kinds of leads are that they are markedly more expensive than places in, let's say Oklahoma, where the housing prices are like $160,000 to $200,000. What we found is that the amount of money people will spend on either pay-per-click or on their Facebook targeting directly reflects what their take-home is from closing the sale, which is, the housing price is an indication of that. So what, you'll find here, people in luxury markets versus people in, maybe, tertiary markets, you'll see that, there's going to be substantial change in this right here. 115 is pretty good, I think, for a luxury market. I've seen people do, less than $1 per lead on, tertiary markets, but this is pretty good for luxury. 65 leads, realistically, it was only what it's like a 1.1, maybe like a 2% conversion rate or something like that. But that's really not that bad considering that you got in front of, right, like 3,300 people for 75 bucks. So the ad itself, if you guys want to see what it looks like, then I'll jump into the targeting. So you guys can see what I did there. But the actual ad text, you'll recognize this. This is, the BFA recommended ad copy down to a T. I may have even embellished a little bit here. The structure here, in case anyone's wondering why this works, the first statement here is an identifier. Are you ready to make the move? So if this applies to them, it'll click with them. This next thing here is kind of like a hype maker. It's, future neighbor, get them excited about the prospect. However, this next third paragraph is what the problem is. It's the market's very hot, and it's difficult to get your offer accepted, so on and so forth. This fourth paragraph talks about this is our solution, being in the know. This is how we provide that solution by having a stellar team of experts, and then this is what they have to do. Their call to action to get to what they want, which is to be on the insider information list of West LA Homes. And then what we've got is another call to action here that if anyone is taking phone funnels or just basically uses lead digits with their lead pages account, this is another very cool thing that you can do by having people text a code to this. They get an automatic text message back, and they're like pretty much an automatic lead. So just in the spirit of full transparency here, if you'll see here, the headline is, I think, great. Insider info on the best condos in West LA. Perfect. This piece here, this is back when I didn't understand the difference between one form of text and the other. So I think I basically copied this into this. And when I did that, this should be much shorter. This is just to show that even though that this mistake was made, it still performed really, really well. So, for that, if you've been seeing the idea of imperfect action, take it, because shoot, if you get this wrong and you still get 65 leads at 115 a lead, you're doing okay. And then imagine what it's going to be once you correct it, right? So, and then I don't have this lead pages account anymore. I don't think I can try to click on it, but I don't think it's going to pop up. Yeah. So, but it's just Ryan's recommended, the Stewman page, Bikini Girl as it is, right? So it's the picture of the house with an opt-in in the corner. Click on it, the one that we all know on lead pages. That's all it is, and the same 6 questions on Wufoo. So this required little to no creativity on my part. It was mainly just a plug and play. And just to go back to it here, these are what the results are. So 65 leads, 3,300 reach, $1.15 a lead. I was spending $20 a day for I think 4 days, but I didn't spend for the full 4th day, so just under $80, 75. And that's where it is. And one other thing before we hop off here, for people who are running ads who are a little bit new, this is a cool little a signal that lets you know when it's time to pull your ad, and it explains why I pulled a really well performing ad in 4 days, right? So if you look at your insights, it's normally much more pronounced than this because it's going to be truncated, but I have this over the course of a year for some reason. So if you look at this, it starts off at 7 leads a day, it spikes up to and then it jumps to 13, and then it jumps to 24, but then it starts to decline down to 20, and then down to 1. The last day you got 1 lead, and it was a $4 lead. At that point, I knew it was time to cancel this ad because it would just keep declining. It's dried up, and I was going to rerun it, but life happened. You get busy. So that's one way to think about it. If you see this thing kind of continually going up and up and up and up, that means keep going, or if it's flat, keep going. You're getting continual constant returns to scale. And then when it drops down, it's time to pull it, get a new picture in, get some new ad copy in, and then launch. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this gave you some insight on, this isn't typical. This isn't anything like, oh, you know what? Before I hop off here, I also want to show you guys the targeting. That would be good. So you guys can get a sense of how it was done. Right, like who I aimed at. Okay, so you might not be able to see it. Maybe I can open it, but it's if I edit, okay, cool. This is the screen I wanted to see. This right here is the ad targeting. So it's super basic. In fact, incredibly basic, right? So Marina Del Rey plus 10 miles. That's a lot of population in terms in relatively. Age 26 to 60, females. Language is English, excluding every all mortgage professionals, and for some reason paralegals. I don't know what I had against paralegals earlier this year, but hopefully I've resolved that mentally. People who match are people likely to move, home ownership, and first-time home buyers. Nothing complex, and then just launched it, and then it was good to go. So and then you saw the results of it. So that's it. If it's helpful, I'm really glad. I can keep giving more feedback like this if that's helpful, or I can even run through a couple of these ads, how to build them quickly. Okay, thanks again, guys. See you on the other side. Take care.